Making Food. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Amy.
And today
we're having a pantry party.
Pantry party! So we're going into our pantry and we're finding all the things to make all the things.
Yeah, essentially like things that you would most likely find in your pantry. Maybe somebody else might have this stuff in their pantry, but it's generally pantry stuff.
So what I'm making today is one of my favorite soups. It's like a Southwest soup, and it literally is just everything that you'd find in your pantry: canned beans, canned tomatoes, canned everything, frozen stuff. So none of it is like fresh, but it is the best tasting soup.
Definitely
I love it.
all things that you would find in a pantry.
Yes.
I think I have all of this stuff.
And you can make this at home.
I'm
going to show you how.
And I am making my Grandma Dottie's graham cracker pudding cake, which is literally just graham crackers and pudding. And if you're on the East Coast, I forbid you to use anything other than Mighty Fine. I think I can say that because it's not like a local business or anything. But you know, no disrespect, Jell-O.
I've never eaten Mighty Fine.
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
Oh.
It's the best pudding.
No.
So Mighty Fine is an East Coast thing, so I always use Mighty Fine.
Okay.
Anyway, but you're gonna start because mine's super easy.
So once this
I'm
gets
just gonna hang
going
out.
and it's cooked, it basically makes itself. And that's what I love about this meal. When I am tired and I do not want to have to think about what to make for dinner, I make this meal. And it lasts. I have it all week on the stove. If I'm hungry for lunch, I eat it.
You just leave it on the stove all week?
I do, and I turn it on and I eat it. Well, I mean, then eventually I put it in the refrigerator, but I do. I have it out. It doesn't last very long, honestly. Yeah. I make it, and people eat it right away.
How many servings does this version do? Like that was like one package of chicken.
It was actually a half a package of chicken, and you don't have to make this with meat. The meat is not required. It's just something that I like to have the protein in there for myself, even though there's a ton of beans. I just like the chicken in there for the flavor. So I am browning a bit of chicken. I'm gonna wash my hands, and you
do that.
You're off and running.
All right. Well, I pre-made my pudding because it needs time to cool. So you just make the pudding as per the package, which in this case with Mighty Fine, I did 2 boxes of Mighty Fine pudding, chocolate pudding, not the chocolate fudge they have as well. I like just the chocolate. 2 packages, which is then 4 cups of milk. So I made that ahead of time, which I'm going to get out of the fridge because it does need to cool. Let's see. It's good. And literally all you do with this is you just like layer. I'm just gonna get this because it's still warm.
And I definitely have all of this.
Do you have pudding at home?
Yes,
okay, so it's
always.
okay that you put the pudding you have at home is not Mighty Fine since you didn't know about it.
It's not Mighty Fine.
You can make it with your Jell-O. Instead of gonna get sued by Jell-O, they're gonna stumble upon Channel 20 on in East Hampton like an executive's gonna be like what? And I'm gonna get in trouble. But no.
That's not happening.
Or a Mighty Fine person's gonna say they're gonna send me lots of pudding. I buy a lot of Mighty Fine because I always bring this home to California when I go because my mom makes it for my dad, and I buy them like 20 boxes. So when I go to the store to get it, I feel like such a dork. I'm like I'm bringing these home to my mom.
I love it.
Like it's like I just really want a lot of pudding. And I buy devil dogs for my brother.
Well,
So
I feel like
Mighty
you can
Fine pudding and devil dogs. That's all I bring to California.
You can make a lot of things with pudding. Like it's a great dessert to have on hand if people like pop by, or like there's kids, you have kids over.
You should always just have a box or 2 of pudding in your house.
Stealing some of the salt.
You could make this with just 1 box and just make it smaller. But you need. I always buy 2 boxes of graham crackers because inevitably there's a bunch of broken ones. So which you can kind of work with if you need to.
I love the broken ones because I eat them.
Well, yeah.
I like to have a snack while I'm cooking. It's a
Totally.
snack while I go.
So I buy a 2nd box just in
Amy,
case. Yes.
When you are letting this cool, do you ever put like a wrap to keep it from
Getting that film on top?
the film on
I
top?
did not. Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like it's skin. It's like it's
Yeah, but so what do you put on top to avoid the skin? I like the skin. It's
like
texture.
plastic wrap.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh, okay.
It
Amy likes the skin on her pudding. Now we know.
So what I do so that the first layer
My kids are gonna be
doesn't slide around is I put a little bit of pudding on. So you can use I like to use a cutting board because that's like a good thing to put. It's a good shape. You can use a cookie sheet, and if you have like an oblong or rectangular plate, you can use that. Today I'm just using a cutting board.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the charcuterie board.
Yeah, that's because I was spreading the pudding. Yeah, pudding board.
Pudding board.
So I put a little pudding down so that it serves as a glue to keep the first layer from sliding around when I make my pudding. So you can see, look, it's stuck.
Oh, it does. It sticks.
It's
Look at
glue.
Holy cow.
It's stuck. So I'm just gonna start building layers
Please do.
of pudding. I'm always like a little leery of how much I put on the first couple layers to make sure I don't run out of pudding, and inevitably the lower layers don't have as much pudding. So
Get
I'm gonna
brave,
put a little
Amy, get
more.
brave.
Yeah, I'm gonna get brave. So you literally just spread. Here. Well, it's okay. You're just doing that overhead.
What do you
now.
want me to do?
Oh, nothing. I was looking at the
Oh.
overhead, but that's not pudding. It's okay because I'm talking.
Here, do you want to move here? That'd be
No, that's fine. Okay, well I could do
Here,
that. Yeah,
go
let's do
ahead.
that.
That's right there.
We're moving. All right. Well, then this is all moving. I gotta move this stuff.
That's right. It's above. They can't see it. It's above. They can't see it.
Oh, well, okay. So, all right. So yeah. So you see, I'm just spreading the pudding around on top of the graham crackers, evenly, so that it completely covers the graham crackers.
I want to eat it just like that.
Well, at the end, what you do is you take whatever graham crackers are left over, and you just
Well, if there
scoop
are
up.
any, because I've probably eaten them while making it.
That's true. So I'm gonna go back over here now that they showed that from overhead, because
Okay.
it's fine. I like this one. All right. So I'm just gonna keep building this as you do your thing.
I love it. You know what? I can make the cocktail while we're waiting for the chicken to brown.
Go for it.
Let's do
This
it.
is
So
gonna
today,
be like the most low-key chill episode
so
ever.
ever. Well, I kind of feel like from the holidays and things, aren't people kind of tired? I mean, even from like summer or whenever this is airing, you get tired
This is
of
in the
of-
winter.
But I'm just saying, you get tired of hosting. Like at the holidays, you kind of get worn out from hosting, and so it's kind of nice to just use up what you have in your house. That way, you're not throwing away food.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I don't like to waste, so I'm grabbing some ice.
I just realized my hand was like this. I'm like, oh,
and I
making my little cake.
always have nice mixers in my house for various cocktails. And one of the mixers
a
that I
mixologist.
find, yes, is that even if you have an alcohol in it or not, ginger beer. Ginger beer is delicious, and the mule is it can bend to any alcohol that you have in the house. I've seen there's various names for them, but I've seen mules with bourbon. I've seen mules with vodka. I've seen them with rum. I've seen them with tequila. You can literally put anything. You could put that weird alcohol that somebody brought over to your house that you don't really know what to do with, but you don't want to throw it away. Today I'm using vodka just because I know Amy likes vodka.
I do like vodka.
So I just throw a little bit
Like
of
is
vodka
rum,
in.
rum I think is like a common one for a.
Ooh, if you
a
get a
meal.
dark rum with ginger
Yeah.
beer, dark and stormies are so delicious. And those are always fun and festive. If there's like a storm, you can bust those out.
And
a
it's
little
dark.
bit of lime, and it's dark and it's stormy, hence the name. So a little bit of fresh lime. And ginger beer is delicious. I always think it's a nice thing to have on hand.
It is a good thing that because that is a good thing to keep in the not the pantry, but in the I guess you keep it in the pantry until you
Until you're ready to
want
use
it to
it.
be cold.
So this
When we say pantry party, we also mean fridge party.
Freezer.
Stuff you already have on hand.
fridge, freezer. So the nice thing about this is it feels out of the box. People aren't necessarily expecting it, which is great. And
It looks like graham crackers come in your cocktail.
yeah, it does.
Just gonna move these.
And so it's just a nice thing to have on hand because it kind of feels festive and special, even though it's like the most simple thing in the world. And then once you get a little bit of fresh lime, giving it a stir with
I'm
my
just gonna get rid of my tea so I can have this
do,
cocktail.
just a liquid you don't need. And there we go. That's it.
That's it?
That's the cocktail. That's how simple it is. Here.
Crazy.
Look at these fun little mugs. Now these are traditional mugs for a mule. It actually keeps the drink like super cold, which is lovely.
Oh, that's really cool.
Right? So cheers.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Right? So nice.
Ooh,
I know, ginger beer is great. It's actually
that's like a sweeter gingery beery
it's
mule than
extra.
I've had. And I think because it's vodka and not rum,
So in the grocery store, there's actually a variety of.
I feel like it's healing my
Ginger beer.
laryngitis.
it's a tonic. It's a
tonic.
health tonic.
It's a health tonic.
We've been making a lot of health tonics lately on the show. We hope it
Yeah.
brings you good health and happiness in the new year. All right, my chicken is browned enough.
The chicken
'cause
looks good.
It cooks enough in the soup anyhow. So
I'm
let's
just
go
still layering my graham crackers.
ahead. Amy, that's labor intensive.
Well, you know,
It's all it's
Really?
worth it. It's worth it.
it's kind of like, layering a cake, except it's a lot of layers, and you don't have to bake cake.
True.
You don't have to bake anything. This just goes in the fridge when it's done.
All right, so one of my favorite things to have on hand in my house, and I always have it, is actually onions, celery, and carrots that are frozen. Because so often I buy things at the grocery store and I cannot, my life gets busy. I think that I'm gonna be making some meal. I don't get to it. I end up ordering out. So this is a nice way to keep like fresh veggies on hand without them going bad. I get tired of throwing things away. I'm sure other people get tired of throwing things away. So this is just a nice base for my soup, and I'm browning these a little bit.
Mine get lost in the back of my freezer, and then like 3 years later I find them and I'm like,
That's oh, you put them in the back of your
yeah, because like other stuff gets pushed in,
Yeah.
or my husband will move things
Like ice
around and he'll
cream?
put things in the front that I don't use in the back, the good stuff, and I'm like, stop doing that.
Tell me, get out of your
Is that
way.
a good story?
It's a familiar
I'm
story.
like, you gotta put stuff in the front that we're actually gonna use soon. Stop messing with the fridge.
I love the way brown vegetables smell. Okay.
I can't believe that I said to Rebecca before I opened this box of graham crackers, and I said I always buy 2 boxes because a lot of them are broken. This box had like 1 broken one.
Must have been
It was
fresh.
miraculous. It's like a Hanukkah miracle, but it's like a winter.
It's a winter miracle.
It's a winter graham cracker miracle.
All right, so this is all brown. So now I'm adding the chicken back in. And now I'm gonna add all of the beans. So
That's a lot of beans.
This is a lot of beans, but I'm also making a ton of soup. So now my favorite element of this is hominy.
Oh my god! Oh, I love hominy.
Do you know what hominy is? So hominy is basically like, is it fortified corn? Is that what they would call it?
I have no idea. I just like
So
it.
it's just this little tiny corn that's turned white, and it's such a nice surprise. And people, honestly, they never know what it is when they're eating it, but they are always
That's good.
pleasantly surprised. So in this, you use whatever beans you like. But I have black beans. I have a little white bean that I like. I have a garbanzo bean, a red
A lot
bean.
of beans.
It is a lot of beans, but it's it's like a little.
You're full of beans,
Full
as
of
they
beans.
say.
So it's full of beans, it's full of protein. If you are counting points or counting macros, this is actually a really nice way to
Macros?
macros. Yeah, it's for those people who work out and they're trying to be like all into it and eating the right
You're
amount
speaking
of
a language I do
protein
not know of.
and eating the right amount of carbs, and then I'm adding about a box, 4 cups of chicken stock. And then, so all the beans,
All the beans.
tomato, box of tomatoes.
A box of. What kind of tomatoes?
These are crushed tomatoes.
Crushed tomatoes?
But if you like diced, if you like whatever, even if you hate tomatoes, then don't put tomatoes in. You don't have to. It's not required. I just like them.
I do too.
It adds a
Well, because
nice.
you've got stewed, you've got diced, you've got
You can
sauce,
whatever you like.
peeled.
Whatever makes you happy when you're eating your meal. Whatever brings you joy. And now the part that I
You sound
like.
like Marie Kondo.
Whatever brings you joy.
Whatever sparks joy.
Well, isn't that what it's about?
Yeah.
Joy.
Are you adding edamame?
No, I'm adding chopped spinach.
Oh, chopped spinach.
Because
That's what
I
that
always
is.
find that when I'm making dinner, I can make the protein and like I can, of course can make a carb. Like how do you work in the vegetables so that way you feel like you're eating a full, well-rounded meal? I love frozen spinach. Frozen spinach is like the best thing ever to me. It's like a really nice way to get
It's like the
iron.
healthiest soup ever.
Yeah.
I'm on my last layer, everybody.
Yay! Excuse me.
I think I calculated the pudding pretty well.
Okay.
This one is 1, 2, 3. This is 6 layers of graham crackers. Four graham crackers across, which actually comes out to, normally the way we cut them, and you'll see, is like half a graham cracker is a serving, so it's a square. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So how long does this
So you
cake
get
last?
8. You get 8 pieces out of this.
Oh my gosh.
How long does this last?
How long does the cake last? Like how long will that
Like
hold up for?
5 minutes, because it just gets eaten right away.
But if I made it before, would it?
No, well, you want to let it sit. Like you can let it sit, like make it in the morning and have it at night. Make it the day before, have it the next night. Like
It'll
the,
keep
the
that
long,
long.
the longer it sits within reason, the kind of better it is because the graham cracker softens, pretty quickly. So you're not gonna eat it before the graham cracker is softened, and it just kind of takes in all the flavor of the pudding. So like the next day is great. This isn't gonna last more than a couple days.
Oh, I want to eat it all right away.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Now the piece de resistance is the roasted salsa verde.
Ooh.
Now this is like, the flavor of this is my favorite. It reminds me of home, California, where I am from. So you put in about a cup, and then you just bring it up to a boil, and that's the soup.
And then so when you bring it up to a boil, you then lower the heat.
You can, yeah, or you can eat it.
Really?
If you really like hot soup, yeah. I mean, you want to give the chicken.
You don't want it to like simmer for a while?
I mean, like I'm saying, is you can, but again, it's all canned. Like nothing, it's all kind of ready to go. It's not like you're using fresh beans. I mean, you could use it, but it's not like you are. Brings up to a boil, and it just sits like this. You cook it for like 10, 15 minutes. It's ready to go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start. See, I've covered the top of my final layer. I'm gonna start going on the sides. So that's always like a little bit of a harder part.
Should we get a Yiddish lesson while you're
Yeah, so I'm just
getting
gonna
going?
show. So like I kind of let it heap over the edge, and then I sort of brush use the knife and I squidge it along the sides. That's not a word, but I just spread it along the sides until it's covered, just like you're icing a cake.
I like how it's kind of dancing.
It is. It's jiggling.
It's jiggling.
Burp, 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 burp. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep working on this. Let's go to the Yiddish lesson of the day.
Awesome.
Take it away. Oh, hey, it's time for a special Yiddish lesson of the day with a shiksa. It's shiksa goddess Erica Ryan, Erica Ryanberg.
Gerberg.
It's Erica Ryanberg. This is my good friend Erica Ryanberg.
Rynastein.
Who's gonna Rynastein, who's clearly a Jew.
Clearly.
Anyway, she's gonna teach us a Yiddish lesson today. What's the Yiddish word of the day, Erica?
The Yiddish word of the day is spilkus.
Spilkus?
Spilkus.
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 Yeah, I got spilkus in my genektikazoid.
Spilkus
in my genektikazoid.
That was from Coffee Talk, right?
Coffee Talk on SNL.
So
yeah.
what is, I know, what is
Spilkus
spilkus?
is like antsy, You're
Antsy.
like,
You got ants in your pants.
ants in your pants, yeah.
You're like, you're like nervy and like,
Nervy.
I guess I can't sit still. I
Yeah.
got spilkus.
Anxious.
Spilkis, I believe is how you spell spilkus. I got spilkus in my genektikazoink.
Spilkus in my genektikazoid.
Erica knows a few Yiddish words, so she's an honorary Jew.
I am.
Yeah, and listen, we want everybody to speak Yiddish, so that's why
It's the best
today we
language.
have one of the others.
I grew up saying Yiddish. My mom was
Did
from
you?
Boston, yeah. So
In
she
Pueblo, Colorado?
No, my mom's from Boston, so
She
she
is?
like grew up. She's the one that taught me all my Yiddish words.
Really?
So when I moved to New York, I was
Not
like,
your Jewish
why
friend?
do I know all of these words already? Yeah. So I know lots of. Do you want me to say another one? That I
Yeah,
like?
what's another?
Fakakta.
Fakak. We haven't done that one either.
Fakakta is my favorite.
Fakakta.
Yeah.
That's
fakakta.
like
it's all
effed
crazy.
up. It's
messed
effed up. It's messed
yeah.
up. Fakakta. 2 in 1 today. Spilchus and fakakta.
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 Best words
This
ever.
is slipping. My mom's supposed to be holding up this book so the camera doesn't slip, but she's drunk.
Failing, Sandy.
She's not drunk, but she's fakakta
So fakakta.
in the noggin. All right. Well, thanks, Erica.
Yeah, you're welcome for this Yiddish lesson.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Back to the studio.
Cool.
I love Erica.
Erica.
She's so lovely.
That's
Hi,
my
Erica.
that's my old friend from New York. We used to work together on Broadway, and she moved to California.
As people
And
do.
so I saw her when I was there visiting my family. And she's been around me long enough that she uses a good amount of Yiddish.
Well, people
Plus-
were saying that sometimes they're surprised to learn that the word they've been using is Yiddish.
Oh yeah, like Samantha on another
Yeah.
episode, she was here and the word was tuchis, and she hears me say it all the time from a butt, and she didn't realize tuchis was Yiddish.
Well, especially if you're talking to kids, I think that's a pretty common word
Right.
to use. Kepi.
Sit
tuchus.
on your tuchis.
Watch your kepi. With your head. Watch your
Right.
head. My mom always uses that.
Kepi.
Kepi.
It's a
Watch
good
your
one.
kepi. Watch your. Although she
Watch
doesn't
your
have that accent.
kepi.
Amy, that's coming together.
It's almost done. And, I always clean up the whatever plate I'm using because it's a bit messy. I don't want just like blobs of pudding all over the place.
I actually love it. So now, with this soup, a nice thing to also make is, and I was gonna bring it in, but honestly, I ran out of time. Cornbread.
It
Cornbread is a
happens.
lovely thing. And have you ever bought those like Jiffy,
Yes, I
like
use that
those
for Thanksgiving.
boxes of cornbread? That's also something that's in your
I make a
pantry.
cornbread like souffle. It's like a cornbread pudding for Thanksgiving, which a lot of people make. It's really good. It's like really healthy. It's like all sour cream and butter and
It's again a health food.
very healthy.
With our
Cornbread-
drinks, it's like a health tonic.
Yeah, it's got like everything. Oh, cream corn, loose corn,
What?
sour cream, butter. Yeah,
No.
it's delicious.
So the cornbread that I make is made, of course, with like Greek yogurt and other.
I don't make it outside of
delicious
Thanksgiving.
things.
Although I couldn't make it this year because we went to the store too late. And
were out?
they were out of so many things. They didn't have cream corn. They didn't have Jiffy cornbread.
Well, I have to say, for this particular soup, I sometimes have a hard time finding hominy.
Oh yeah?
But it's becoming more and more available in the stores. I'm starting to see it more and more, which is nice. And sometimes you try to find these, I don't want to call it like eccentric, but these ingredients that are not always in every meal that you make, which although they should be, and they can be hard to
Well,
find.
a lot of times they're in like the international aisle.
Yeah, no, my one store did not have it, and I was disappointed. So then, of course, I had to go to 3 other stores because once I became obsessed with making this soup, I had to make it. There was
Exactly the way I wanted to
There was
make
no
it.
turning back. Although sometimes instead of, this is also a really great soup.
Hominy or
for-
bust?
Hominy or bust. If you have vegetables that are kind of going onto the less desirable phase of vegetables, you can throw those in. I've thrown in broccoli in this. I've thrown in green beans, zucchini. I've thrown in eggplant, all kinds of stuff. This is really like a soup that adapts to whatever you have in your refrigerator, whatever you are looking to empty your cabinet of. It's a lovely soup.
It's
and
the
it tastes
chameleon
delicious.
of soups.
It's the chameleon of soups. And with a little bit of the verde, it makes it a nice treat.
So I'm trying to clean up the mess that is my cutting board, so that it doesn't look so
So
disgusting.
now, what garnish do you usually put on the side? Do
Well, I don't normally.
you just serve as is
But
on
yeah,
the?
I mean, listen, you make it and then you immediately eat it. But you could it would
could
be
do some
it would be
whipped
nice
cream?
if I had put some. Oh, I've done that before. Yeah, put some whipped cream
Like
around it.
stylized whipped cream?
Well, listen, I mean, you jump in the gun here, but no, you do serve it with whipped cream. But
Get excited.
all right, I cleaned it up a little bit.
No,
But so
you're
then
good, you're
what
good.
I started doing recently is that, since there is usually a little bit of graham cracker left over, in addition to eating it, I will
Which is the main event.
crush it.
Oh, that'll be pretty.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. So get yourself a bag.
Get a bag, put the graham crackers in the bag, crush it.
I love it.
You're the one that was like, you used a little cup the other day when I was like, I don't have my mallet. You're like, just use a cup. I was like, well, that's smart.
I try to keep like the least kitschy things in my kitchen itself. But I don't have room.
So yeah, so now I'm just gonna sprinkle the top.
Amy, I can't wait.
I know. Good thing is you don't have to wait for this one because I made one ahead of time, which is so not like me. Usually I'm not the one who preparing ahead of time.
Usually, Amy's never made her dish before.
No, yeah. I usually have never made it before. I don't make it ahead. I don't test it.
Awesome. Amy, that looks amazing.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to spoon up our soup. We've got.
Okay, so this goes in the fridge. Like I said, you really need to have it in the fridge like all day in the least.
Yeah, I would
You
say.
can do it the day before for the next day. Morning for the night is perfect. So that's gonna go in there. That one came out nice. By the magic of television! Or just free making something. I have one ready. And I have whipped cream. It's very exciting.
I love whipped cream. My children love whipped cream. I'm all
Who
about
doesn't? If you don't like whipped cream, I don't want to know you. There's got to be something wrong
it. Oh,
with you.
plates?
Yeah, please.
Do you have plates? No.
No. Are we starting? No, we're starting with soup and then dessert. I was like, soup first, dessert.
And
Thank
here's
you.
another red.
Well, that's a big one.
Well,
So
this
we're
is
gonna
it.
try
This
your
is the soup.
soup,
I
huh?
divvied it out. Straight around. Well, and sometimes my husband likes really spicy food. He adds hot sauce to everything. So a little bit of hot sauce goes a long way if you like it spicy. But like I said, you
Let's
just
try your
do
soup.
you. You just do
So
you.
excited. Hold on, I'm
your
gonna take a
soup.
sip to clear my palate.
Do.
This looks so good.
It's like a nice spicy kick.
Gotta get a piece of chicken in there. Wait, what did you? I was busy. What did you use for the spice?
No, it's the green sauce.
Oh, green. That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
If you like it a little spicier, add hot sauce to it.
You
That's
put
what I
some
do.
green Tabasco in. Really
That's green
good.
Tabasco.
Mmm.
Or sriracha. I've used sriracha before. So good, right?
This is so delicious.
I know. I'm saying it's.
Mmm.
And when you're hungry and you just don't want to think about food, it's there for you, and it's
Yum.
filling.
We so rarely have enough time to actually eat the food. We're always like, and
I
goodbye.
enjoy it, and usually we're taking photos of it.
Time for dessert.
Dessert's my favorite part.
Okay, so here's one that I made.
It's
last
not
night.
dancing.
It's not dancing. So
Oh gosh,
I'm
you're so
always-
far.
yeah. So that's the completed one. I made it last night. So, like I said, you cut it like this. Essentially the shape of the squares of
The graham cracker.
graham cracker. Essentially. So here.
Whoa, yum.
Whoa.
I'm so excited, Amy. I'm so excited. I'm like silent.
Oh, do you want to get some forks? You're gonna need that.
I'm silently looking at you dishing it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we need whipped cream.
Yes, we do. Oh, come on. That's not shaking it up.
Are you supposed to do like really heavily? Ah! Chlorofluorocarbon. Isn't that the thing? What's the stuff that comes? No.
no idea.
What's the thing that's a roof? What's the thing that the popper?
Isn't that helium?
I don't know. The thing at the very beginning when you squirt it and you're like, ooh, and you get high. I don't know. It's cable access. We can talk about this.
No
All
idea.
right.
Oh, there you go.
You got to put a lot on because.
Well, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, Grandma Dottie's
Grandma
graham
Dottie.
cracker pudding cake. So I don't know if you can see the layers. It ends up looking really pretty. like a tort, like a Viennese tort or something. It's pretty because it has all these layers of graham cracker and pudding.
There's something about the taste of pudding that tastes like childhood.
Isn't that good?
It like tastes like memories.
The only
what I
other
think
time that
memories
I
taste
seen this was oddly at Marie's Crisis in the West Village.
What?
I had dinner there one night, and on the dessert menu they had this graham cracker pudding cake, and I was like, I wonder if it's like my grandma's. And it was exactly the same, but I've literally never seen anybody do this. Just my grandma, so I keep doing
Well,
it. I will say one thing you should not do, and I tried it once and it was a bad idea. I did different puddings, so I did, a layer of chocolate, a layer of butterscotch, a layer of vanilla. Didn't work.
Oh,
Stick with the chocolate.
that's good to know.
It's perfect as is.
I have to say, it's actually really pretty, and the graham cracker gets almost soft, like you've dipped it in milk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this really great texture where it's sweet
Yeah,
and
it's
it
soft.
tastes like graham cracker, but it's not
And it's
crunchy.
not super sweet.
No,
It's really nice.
it's pudding.
That's why it
Tastes like
gets
pudding.
eaten fast because you're like, I'm gonna have another piece.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that good?
Yes, this is. I love how like soft it is, but I love that the flavors are exactly what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So everybody should make this to pay homage to my grandma Dottie, who was a great gal. She didn't really cook much, but she did make this, and we all loved it.
Well, she made one hell of a pudding.
And it's
cake.
always a special treat when we make it. So your soup was delicious.
Today we
think-
won.
We won. We did it.
We won the lottery.
We did it. We did it in time.
Heyo.
Who knew?
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Rebecca.
And join us next time for more schmaltz and shtick. Bye.
Bye.
Get more.